Welcome back to Good Day Columbia here on a Tuesday morning, and we've been talking about this video. We're going to show you in a couple of minutes here, but we've been talking about this video, this case in Georgia of this bus driver who stands up, becomes a hero, at least I think in a lot of people's minds, protects some people on the bus. He subdues a woman who was trying to attack another passenger on the bus, and now he's in a little bit of trouble. So of course the question is self-defense. I mean, when can you use it? When is it okay? Did he act lawfully? Did he act legally? First things first, in a general case, and I don't want you to comment specifically on this particular incident, but with a similar fact pattern, is he defending somebody else here? Is he okay to defend a third person?
Well, here at the Richland County Sheriff's Department, Sheriff Leon Lott stresses that it's take a common sense approach. Even when we go through our training, you always want to be aware and educate yourself on what you're going to do. You know, so you've got to put yourself in situations like, okay, am I endangering other folks' lives or safety if I decide to jump on this person? So that's the first thing you've always got to ask yourself.
Sure.
You've got the right to defend yourself, but you've always got to ask yourself, am I going to endanger more people if I decide to do something and try to save the day? The biggest thing that we like to stress at the Sheriff's Department is educate yourself, make yourself awareness. I mean, all our deputies, when we go through training, we have to go through training. We have to go through training to shoot our guns, to spray our mace, things of that nature. So when there's folks out there, if they want to defend themselves, if they want to carry a weapon, if they want to carry mace, take a class, take a course, and educate yourself so you can be better prepared.
It's always it seems to be that reasonableness standard that applies to law enforcement and the practice of law also the judge considers is reasonableness if you act reasonable in a situation.
That's correct. If you add the common sense equation, as I say, and you think you can do, the typical person is going to defend themselves or their loved ones. For instance, if I'm at a bank and I'm off duty, and I normally tend to carry my off-duty weapon with me, the bank's getting robbed, but my son's with me, or something to that extent. What am I going to do? Well, basically, I'd probably look at the person. I'm not going to put my son in harm's way, but I'm going to get as much information as I can. Of course, we're going to call law enforcement and take proper action, and if I can get a tag, description of vehicle, things like you never want to endanger others to make the situation even worse than it is.
There's the old saying, law enforcement too, you make a better witness than a victim.
That's correct.
Because you're right, if you decide to pull out your gun, you now have introduced a second weapon in a situation.
That's right.
And that goes for, I know a lot of people carry guns, and I'm a big believer of the Second Amendment and citizens carrying guns.
Right.
But you're right, not always do you need to be John Wayne and a cowboy.
That's
say, hey man, I'll take care of this, because now you've got a shootout going on.
Right, that or what if you lose your weapon, what if you lose that tool that you're going to use, you've given it to the bad guy. Now things have gone from one level to the next level, and of course that person's more upset than they were before. So you've got to remember that whatever's going on with the bad guy, they're just as nervous, if not more, so the nervous is heightened to another degree.
And a lot of times there's other substances on board as well, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
So you don't know. Some people, impervious to pepper spray or being tased because they've got other things on board.
That's right.
You may not know that.
You don't know how they might react to things of that nature.
Now, of course, applying the reasonableness standard and, officer discretion, as it were, when is it okay? When does a fight in 5 points become self-defense, and when does it cross that line just by by the reasonableness standard? Well,
I mean, when you see someone typically getting hurt to the point where it's like, okay, this is life and limb here we're talking about. So yeah, if a person's life is at risk, then you've got to do whatever it takes to save yourself or save that person. Then of course step in if you've got to step in. But like I said, always call 911. Let law enforcement handle that situation. If you're a person that wants to get help or wants to better yourself as far as defense goes, like I say, I cannot stress how important it is to call the Sheriff's Department, get more involved with your community leaders, get more involved with the community, and become educated and make yourself aware of the proper steps to take.
Fantastic, very great stuff, Lieutenant. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Of course, we're going to get a link to Richland County Sheriff's Department up on midlandsconnect.com/GDC as well, and all these great tips. And I appreciate your time this morning, Lieutenant.
Not a problem. Thank you.
You got it.